Okay, you're all MK critics, you're all MK experts, you're all emulation experts. Give me a fucking break.
Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm back with another video, and I didn't think I was gonna have to make another video, at least not anytime soon, but it looks like that's not the case today. We're also going to be covering Maximilian's content as well, but right now we've got some more content from the Rex. We're going to be seeing what he's got to say, so kind of go forward and let's check it out.
Hey, you're all MK critics, you're all MK experts, you're all emulation experts. Give me a fucking break.
Okay, I can already tell I've got my work cut out for me, so let's check this out. Oh man, oh man.
About
okay, so I kind of skip past the parts with the whole controller scheme. I don't really care about the controller scheme. If you're not using a controller and you're using some sort of joystick, other stuff like that, I don't really care. We're kind of here for the emulation part, so we're gonna check that out first.
Online play, emulate. We know it's bunk. We know it's garbage. You know, and I never really touched on the offline because I didn't play it enough when I first did it. But now I've played it. Now I've played every arcade port on offline mode. I've played many console ports offline. I've played Sub-Zero Mythologies, 90% done with that. I've even, played, I guess because I hate myself, I played Special Forces for as long as I could, which was only about 2 minutes.
At least he knows
the point
that
I'm
game
going
is
to make
horrible.
here is the emulation for these games is standard software emulation. Is it great? Does it match real hardware? No, it doesn't. Okay. And it's not going to. It's standard software emulation.
Okay, well, nobody's expecting it to either, but we don't expect it to run like absolute garbage. That's another thing. I can go and play these games, and I can go play them on other emulators. That's the problem. I can go play these games on DuckStation, that they've got Sega Genesis emulator, they've got Nintendo emulators, they have it all. And the problem that you're not understanding that when you see this and you play this and you're like, well, why is there input delay? Why is there this? Why is the game broken? Why is the audio broken? The list goes on. And you look at all these other emulators, how they do it right and how Digital Eclipse is doing it wrong. And I think that's more of the takeaway on the emulation side of things that people aren't understanding.
Emulation. It's as good as anything else you're going to see
on
any other device where you're playing this on. And don't give me this Fightcade crap, because Fightcade has its issues with emulation as well, and wonky things happen.
Well, yeah, nothing's perfect, right? Nothing's perfect. But the point is that it's significantly better. And it's not even official, right? It's not official, and it's made by people that, have love for all of these older games. But why does it play better? Why is the connection better? Why is the audio better? The list goes on. It's always the community that happens to be doing better than the actual people that are making it. And this is outsourced, so it's not even the actual people that, made these games initially. So it doesn't even matter. And I know Midway's not around, whatever. They're the original people that made it, but the IP was still retained through, NRS. Now WB owns it and all that stuff. But that doesn't matter. The point is that these people that are in the community are creating something better that works better than, somebody that's official, that's making these, in-house, or technically not in-house, like I said, outsourced. But, it's, come on, man. You gotta point out those truths there to these flaws that everyone else, has. Then Digital Eclipse, come on, dude. Street Fighter, TMNT, the collections are horrible. This collection is horrible right off the bat. I mean, you gotta acknowledge that. Don't just disregard it just because you think that there's some similarities to the other, emulators. Of course, every emulation is gonna have its own issues, but you can't compare the amount of game-breaking emulations to what Fightcade is now, PS1, DuckStation, Sega Genesis, Nintendo, all those other emulations, they're doing it better right now. Right now, you can go play these games. Oh, by the way, for free, mind you. You can go play them for free. You don't even have to, pay for those, obviously. Not advocating that you should go and get them for free, because I can't actually tell you to do that. But the point is that they play better and more flawlessly, and they don't cost $50, which is amazing.
in the controls configuration. That's bunk too. That's garbage. You want to talk about garbage controls? You go into a game, you're playing, you go out, you go into another game and you lost all your configuration and you have to go back and map and input and all this crap. So don't give me that Fightcade's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Is it better? Yes. Okay, I'll give you it. I'll give you
there you go. That's all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to hear.
But it has its issues as well. People talk about input lag on this offline mode. Every software emulation has input lag. That just is what it is, okay? And then you add in Bluetooth controllers. You add in your video latency. You know, you got people hitting a button trying to time. Of course, there's input lag.
But I guarantee you, here's the thing. I guarantee you that you can go and do a test from day one patch of Legacy Collection, and you can go test out all of the other emulators, dude. You could test out PS1, PS2, you know, emulation, Nintendo 64 emulation. I bet you could test all of those out right now. Compare them to the latencies that people have reported in the descriptions for, you know, however. PlayStation had 100 plus ms on latency for input delay. So I guarantee you, you go make those comparisons right now to emulators that are already out there that were created by community. Dude, I don't even want to hear it. I guarantee you, any day. So let's keep going.
It works with software emulation. You want the real thing, then do FPGA emulation. What did you guys expect? Let's be fair with what we're getting here.
Whoa. There is no what did you guys expect. You may settle for less. You may want garbage. You might consume trash, but we will not, and we will not stand up for that. You can stand up for that, and you can by all means consume this game to its very, you know, end lifetime cycle. But we're spitting out the truth here, and nobody wants this garbage. You can ask all you want for them to fix the game, but they already came and gone, and they ruined it right off the bat for thousands of players that have already refunded the game. So by you trying to say, what did you expect? Oh, I don't know. What do you think I expect? I expected games from, you know, 30 years ago before my time. I wasn't even alive. I expect to be able to play these games in modern day where our technology is vastly better than back then. And you're going to tell me that I can't even play those games in the most simplest way possible without any issues? Mind you, we're paying with our own, you know, hard-earned money, just like you. Do you not value your money? Because that's clearly what you're telling me here.
Software emulation. It's going to have input lag. I played.
We know that it's software emulation, but we've seen it done better and better.
This video, Maximilian Dude put out a video talking about emulation and the input lag. What timing? Let's take a look at what he said. But what I first want to say is, I really didn't know that PlayStation was so bad because I wasn't playing it on that.
Oh, but he goes so now you didn't know because you weren't paying attention. So you're just spitting out your ass then.
Kind of normal, and there's a reason behind that. Input delay, right? So how bad is it? And I'll tell you guys how rough this is. So the PlayStation version was eclipsing over 100 ms of delay, which is just nuts. But the more important results, a lot of people started saying impressions like, I'm playing on the Xbox version and it seems fine. And to be real, at about 4-ish frames, I could see why you would say that. The Xbox version will not inherently feel that much different unless you're a massive hardcore to the previous versions of the game. The PC version's at 22, 1 frame. Like 1.5. This would rival even that of like Fightcade emulation. Anybody's very negative impression of how the game feels on the PlayStation, that still stands, bro. Like, you were not incorrect. However, the game is on multiple platforms.
Okay, I trust his input lag data. I trust.
Okay, well, hold on there. So you're just, it's crazy how you just, you know, oh, I'm going to trust you, but then I'm going to call bullshit everything else. But that's funny. Did you even go and test out the input delay for anything else, like comparing it to the other emulators, or were you speaking out your ass on that one too? I'm genuinely curious on that. But regardless to that, you got to understand that with these emulations, you know, they are playing superior, like I said, to Digital Eclipse, and that is the whole point here. Why do they play better than Digital Eclipse? Why is Digital Eclipse having so many issues, you know? And you know, like I said, they ruined the game right off the rip, so it doesn't even matter. But it just doesn't make any sense. What are you doing? Why are you advocating for this? I don't get it.
When he says you probably don't notice, you know, the input lag
And on PC, it doesn't even matter. The PC's,
I believe it.
Yeah, it's superior, but guess what?
Steam or the PC version is
how many players? How many players are split up between the different titles? You got 300 players, maybe that peak on Steam every day, if not less than that, because of how their experience is already ruined and they're not even playing anymore. Go check the Steam numbers if you don't believe me. It's on the Steam charts. So yeah, you can go do that. But you split up 300 people between these different titles, right? And that's not even saying the 300 people are even playing online. So now you have maybe 10 here, maybe 15 here, maybe 20 here. But the problem is now you got to take into the internet connection. Is their connection good enough to even be able to play a stable game? Yes or no? Is the input delay really bad between those different games? What else is the issue here? And when you see all that and you combine it together, you see just how dog shit of a project it is. And then you top all of that off with, no crossplay. So like you're splitting up the player base between all these different games. You're killing it. You're killing it, and it's hurting everyone. It's hurting the consumer. It's not hurting the people that, at Digital Eclipse. They don't care. They don't care. If they did care, that they would have had this game ready to go on launch. But that's not the case here.
Just as good as Fightcade, I believe it. And kind of been what I was saying in this video. So let's get back to the rest of what I was saying.
I don't know. You haven't said shit.
I played every one. It plays fine. Okay? It plays fine. I don't have a problem with it offline. I really don't. Okay? Do I know that there's input lag? Yes, I do.
Of course.
I get it.
Okay? There's things that are
certain bugs
there's
or
games
glitches,
that are perfectly fine
people
offline.
Were having with maybe getting to special characters. I don't know. I guess maybe I saw the MK4 thing where you Scorpion runs through. That didn't happen on mine. I'm on Switch 2. I don't know. Maybe they fixed it. I don't know.
See, look. You just made it. You're like, oh well, because it didn't happen on mine. There's no problem. Wow, what a wild take, man. Really? Just because, it didn't happen on my game, so it means it's okay. No, that means that there's issues across the board, that it's not just on one platform. You're having issues across the board. Come on, dude. You don't, and don't settle for that. That's another thing. Stop settling for this shit. I don't get why you're doing that.
But also when you add these special character, quick plays where you're getting to them already and you start messing with the emulation and you want those benefits, yeah, maybe it's going to mess up something until they fix that bug, okay, until they figure that out. But here's an example.
Well, it's memory manipulation, so it's not even
played MK1.
It's not like they're using source code.
Megatron has played more Mortal Kombat than any of you on emulation, every emulation. This guy knows how the game should play. And he did a video where he played through MK1 arcade, and I wrote him and said, what's the emulation like? And his response was, it's great. I like the sound, plays fine. If this guy's saying it plays fine, I trust him. Okay. The guy who has
okay, basically, according to this guy, this is how he uses his logic. I'm gonna ask one person, and that one person, he makes up everything about the whole game. And then the thousands of people that have refunded the game due to all the issues and bugs, they're wrong. Oh, you're wrong. That's what he's telling you. He's literally saying you are wrong. How does that make any sense? He's like, oh yeah, man, the game works perfectly fine. And he's like, oh really? The game works great? That means problem solved. It's all up here. The game is, if you want the game to work, it just works. That's what this guy is saying right now, dude. That is not how it works. Okay, go tell me all the thousands of, you tell me all the Steam reviews, the thousands of refunds. Go tell me, are they wrong? Are there audio issues, there bug issues, the latency, input delay, the glitches on screens? You tell me, are they wrong? Or are you just speaking out your ass here some more and just believing one guy? Oh, the game plays great. Everyone else is wrong just because I'm not having any issues. What kind of shit is that, man? Come on.
This more than anybody I've ever known. This guy plays it and he said it's fine. Okay.
Anybody I've ever known.
No, fine. It's not
perfect.
Great. Okay. Could they have used some run ahead feature to try and reduce input lag? Sure, I guess. But for people who know about run ahead, it messes with the emulation. It causes jitter and other stuff. It's not good to use the run ahead feature. Okay. So maybe we should just be a little fair with what you were getting. You knew what you were getting.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. No, we didn't know what we were getting. Don't you pull that crap. Stop doing that. I'm tired of that. Don't say you knew what you were getting when there were no reviews. You had people speaking out their ass that were saying that the game ran flawlessly. And dude, no offense, Headlock, I know you're watching this. I'm not trying to shit on you, but you did say in a tweet where the game had online to where you could play with your friends, and that wasn't true at all. But the point is, people lied so much, and they made this collection look like it was, you know, flawless right off the bat. That was a lie. What you're saying is a lie. You should never expect dog shit right out the window, and that's what you're saying that we should accept. You should be happy you got this in general. You should be happy, and you know that this is even on the consoles now. So you'd be happy, you know, with at least you got your car, but it doesn't run, right? That's what you're saying. Oh, I bought a brand new car. It doesn't work, but you know, I still got a car. That's your logic that you're using here, and it's dog shit.
Software emulation, you shouldn't be surprised when you have a little bit of input lag, especially when you add in the type of controller you're using. Who knows what type of TV you're using with you know how much video latency. Compile it all.
I mean, I'll give you that.
That's
at
what
least
you get.
I'll give you
okay?
that.
Moving on to the last thing. Okay, I saw Fate talk about a problem with the MK collections. This is a huge problem that they got to fix fast, because he nailed it on the head when he said that the inability to select multiple games for matchmaking, and I mentioned this too in my top 5 fixes that need to be done. I mentioned this weeks ago. I said this got to be done ASAP.
Well, yeah, because the game's already done.
Be able to select more games for matchmaking.
And based off of what I had already told you, you split up the player base. Guess what's going to happen? It's already dead, man.
To start matchmaking with, because we all know, like he said, as the weeks and the months go by, the player pool diminishes. People don't play as much.
Yeah,
not as many people
that's
online.
Obvious.
Okay, so with that said, you're going to need to make matchmaking faster by opening up the number of games.
And so here's another thing. What you're saying is that, and what they're advocating for is, I'd rather, if I'm searching for MK3 and this guy is searching for MK4, right? He wants it to where it's going to pick one of those two games, which is that's not a bad idea at all. That's a great idea. But here's the thing. If you would just introduce crossplay and had the game ready for launch, you wouldn't be having any of these issues. That's the problem that we're trying to point out here, that so many people are not understanding. If you would have just had a ready-to-go product, not this half-assed freaking trash that you put out just because you delayed the movie, probably, or even if it wasn't because of that. If you imagine if they launched this and the movie at the same time, that would have been hilarious. The movie probably did, I don't think the movie's going to do good based off of, you know, character representations and other stuff. But regardless, the game, you know, imagine releasing the game on side that people go to play the game and it's broken as shit day one. What we got, still broken anyway, and it's, you know, losing players by the day. I think that's hilarious. I mean, I don't want MK to fail. I don't understand why people in the comments don't get this. Countless videos I've made, you don't get it. Criticism is everything. I'm not riding the game. I will not ride the game. I don't care what you ask me to do. I'm going to speak the truth on this game, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not hating on it. I enjoy it. I played it the other day just offline, and I had a great time. But guess what? I'm still going to acknowledge the issues, the thousands of issues that are wrong with the game, and how the game could have done better, how it could have succeeded better. But I'm not going to ride it just because I bought a product, and I'm not going to cry and say, well, I spent $50 on it, so I might as well, you know, like the game no matter what. No, you can do that. I don't care. Go ahead and do that. But you're not being truthful and honest, you know, so let's see what else he has to say.
At one time. This is the number one fix that has to be done ASAP. Okay. Even if it was quick matches, you got to open it up. Right. And you should, you know, I'm guessing they're going to put some sort of lobby system in where you have multiple games, just like they did with the 30th anniversary.
Probably.
But
with the lobby system.
This is the number one fix. Fate said it. He's right.
That'll be good to have.
It's got to be done fast.
But
I know you're going to leave comments
coming out, bro.
on the bottom. I know you're going to, I'm going to get harassed about what I said.
Oh, hell yeah, you are. Because you didn't make any good points.
I don't have a problem with offline.
Okay, you made some relating to the latency with the TVs and the Bluetooth.
I don't care.
Whatever.
Put whatever you want in there. But let's just be fair with what we knew we were getting. And
no,
what we paid
see,
for.
there it is again. There it is again. Let's be fair. Let's be fair, man. I bought a car, but I didn't get the engine. You knew that. You knew that was good. Bro, what the fuck? What is that? What is that? What is that logic, man? Come on. Guys, guess what? This brand new car that's coming out, dude, it's going to look so cool. Well, I can't wait to not drive it. Oh my gosh, dude. This guy, look, I don't know you personally, but I know that, you made good points with the Bluetooth stuff, and the TV, whatever you want to call it. But anything besides that, dude, I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, and the lobby system, sorry. The lobby browser, system, but I'm sorry, dude. You're still writing the game, regardless. I can tell. It's pretty easy to tell. So, anybody that doesn't think that he's not doing that, I'm sorry. You're no different, and you are part of the problem of why these products are terrible. These products are terrible because you like to consume trash, and you don't like finished products for some reason. I think you're like, oh man, it's fair to consume trash. I don't respect my money. You go out every day and you work for that money, and you might as well go give it to a charity at this point if you're willing to give it to trash like this. Like, come on, dude. At least do something good with your money if you want to spend it on trash like this. Like, use your brain. Use your logical brain. Go watch some reviews. Go watch things that are wrong with it, and then make your final decision. Don't just buy the game just because it's old and then be like, I should have known. I should have known. No, how could you have known? You had to buy it to play it and or watch YouTube videos to find the problem. Man, like, comment, subscribe, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is so annoying.